Hi guys, welcome to the add-on guide for World of Warcraft. In this guide we're going to cover some general add-ons that will help your day-to-day living within the game. Like I say, we've already been through the UI in a previous guide, so the first thing that we're going to start with here is an add-on called NPC Scam. So this is basically just a alert on your screen that will show up anytime that a rare that you haven't killed is shown on your minimap. So for example, any of the world bosses, or any general rare that you haven't seen, or and killed. So you can set the actual spawn point and anchor for this. If we head over to the left hand screen, I'll show you the settings for it. So there we are. Under the targeting, you can set or hide the anchor, and you've got a load of general settings you can move and change however you feel like at the time. You've got your alerts, which you can test just by previewing it. So there's your screen flash and the sound, and it basically just lets you know where they are. Also tracks what you haven't killed before. So for Suramar, for example, I've still got a few red ones under there that I need to go and find and kill, but it generally tells you where you need and what you need left. If you're going to get this add-on, then you also need to get the two side add-ons that go with it. So you've got NPC Scan, NPCScan.Overlay, and the Overlay Broker. Again, they're all in the description below. Next add-on is an add-on called BugSack, Bugger, BugSack, and BugGrabber. Basically tells you any add-on that's causing an issue with your general settings and potentially causing problems with your frame rate and anything else you lag could be affected by this. 3 different add-ons, all do roughly the same thing and link with each other, and basically just one of them grabs the bugs, one of them puts them in a sack, and one of them logs them. So you do need all 3 to go with that. Again, they're in the description below. Next one is an add-on called Postal. Now if you see when I go to my post, I've got a few different sections. Helps with your settings. You can open all, so if you send it yourself or someone else is sending you a mass amount of items, or you're buying from the auction house, then you can change them and you can open them all. Will all appear in your bag without any worries. Also adds this little drop down section here, so you can add contacts, recently mailed, your friends, your guild, and your alts. Save yourself typing them in. If you do name change or delete alts, you can delete them from here as well. Nice and easy. And that's basically Postal. If you've got a few alts, then the next one might help. It's called Altoholic. And there we go, so it's on my left hand screen, so if I show you that again. In here it gives you all of your alts that you've got, the gold count, the level, whether they've got rested experience, how long they've played, the high level of them, when you last played them, and you can go through loads of different interface options that you can use, artifacts, garrison followers, currency, activity, and you can change. Also down there's a little section which you can view all your bags, so you can see exactly what items are on which person. This can help when you're searching for something and you've got 11 alts and you don't know where it is. You can search your containers for your guild if you've got access to the guild bank. So you can see exactly what's where without actually visiting the bank. Now you do need to go to the actual bank every now and then just to check what information is up to date, as it doesn't update until you head to the bank. But other than that, it's a handy add-on if you've got a few alts. Next one that I use is Ask Mr. Robot. It can be a little unreliable, especially when new patches come out, but it if you set it up properly, it can give you some very helpful hints and tips on exactly what gear is an improvement for yourself. For any spec, you can set it all up. Let's say I don't use it that much. I use it mainly for the combat logs, but it does really help. You can add them to the Mr. Robot site as well, and you can link them with the two, and gives yourself a general overview of your improvements and what gear and where to get it from. Another good help is an add-on called Flash Taskbar. So what this will do is if you're tabbed out and you're on a flight path, it will basically flash your World of Warcraft game on your start menu. So it'll basically just flash up here and won't stop flashing until you click it. Really does help when you are on a flight path, for example, and you land and you're looking at something else, or if you're crafting a load of items, takes 7 minutes, you don't know how long that 7 minutes is going to be, so you go watch a video on YouTube or something, and it'll flash and let you know exactly when that's done, save you wasting time in game. Flashes on a various number of things. Most prominent is probably when you get a ready check in dungeons and raids, or when a pull time has started. Gives you a flash indication on that as well, so that you're never missing when there's a raid check or anything like that. Another good help is an add-on called Garrison Mission Manager. Was designed for Draenor in your garrison there, but it has now been updated with your Order Hall too. So, for example, it gives you nice information there, and it does give you the percentages down the side. So, for example, that one is 200% chance, so you can click on that, it'll add everyone in there for me, and off we go. Makes it nice and easy just to send out your missions. You ain't got to worry about anything at all with it. Really helpful. Another one that does help is if you're in a popular guild mains. As long as the leaders of your guild are up to date with it, and the notes and stuff, it basically adds in your chat names of alts. So, for example, if someone logs onto one of their alts, then it'll show you the note next to it to tell you exactly who it is outside of that alt, so who their main is. Adding on to that, Real ID tunes is another good one. It does exactly the same, but replaces them with the Real ID when they speak, so it gives you a bit of information on exactly who is who, if you've got a lot of Real ID friends. Anyone on your Battle.net list, basically. A good help for checking eye level if you're running raids or basically just generally interested is an add-on called Simple Eye Level. Down here, tells you your own, and you can just set that up however you like. It'll also tell you your party average eye level. So if you've set an average eye level that you want to be, say, 890, you can check that and see where you're at. It does also tell you, adds icons, adds your tooltips, your average eye level down the bottom there. So every player that you've encountered, it'll just update it and tell you exactly what their eye level is without having to go into their inspect and find out that way. Again, it does help if you're running raids, but it also does help if you're just generally interested. If someone else is pulling out better DPS than you, and you want to check their eye level nice and quick, then it can just give you brief information. Oh, yeah, they're better eye level, that's why. Another good help is an add-on called WIM, WoW Instant Messenger. Works very like any old school add-on does, any old school MSN Messenger or anything like that you've ever used. Instead of adding it into your general chat, it will give you an extra chat box that records all the chat that you've had with them. Also gives you a bit of information, and so you can add them as a friend, ignore them, add to the party, Also gives you your histories, so you can see all the history that you've had with them, assuming your log doesn't mess up. Saves messing up your general chat settings, and it also gives you a good backlog and a good history of exactly what's been said between who. Another good one is World Quest List. So if I open up the whole World of Warcraft screen, so you can see I've got my map on the left hand screen. If I zoom out into the Broken Isles, it gives me a list down here of exactly what World Quests I've got available, how long they've got, and you can see what they drop and what rewards you get for them, and also who they're for. So you can filter these out if you only want to check the artifact power ones. Nice and easy to filter them out. Just your order hall resources, gold, etc. You can just filter them out however you like, and again sort them. So if you're doing it just by time, you could just run down nice and easy. Or you can sort by faction, so if you don't want to keep moving around, nice and easy to see. Oh, I've got those few from High Mountain, I'll go and do them next. I like to run about rewards because then I can check exactly what I'm doing and where. But again, that's down to you and your options. You can set your anchor where you want it. Disable the bottom so it doesn't tell you down there. What it'll also do is if you do click on one, so if I find one on my main screen, it will give me a little arrow to tell me how far away from it I am, and the general direction that I need to go, and that'll stay at all times until you complete it, or select a different one. So if I select a different one over here, there we go. So again, you can add or you can disable that through here, change the scale of it. Loads of different help options available there. The other good general one is an add-on called Rarity. This is a general list of exactly what rares are available around. It does help in that if you're tracking something specific, then you can find it nice and easy. If I show the minimap icon, it does take a little while to load in, so there we are. There's all the different add-on different mounts that you can collect, what the likelihood of it dropping is, whether you've killed them or not, and where it's from. So again, down the left hand side here, you can see how many attempts you've had on them, where it drops from, what the item actually is, and if it's got it, it'll give you the coordinates for it as well, if it's a general world item. There's loads of different options you can find through that. Loads of different things it tracks, so your battle pets, where they drop from, toys, and any groups, any mounts and stuff that you need to be in a group for, or would otherwise need to be in a group for to get. That's Rarity. The only other general one that I'd say, if you use the auction house, there's a couple of different ones, Auctioneer and Auctionator. Now I've got them both because they both have slightly different UIs and slightly better at, some are slightly better at things than others, than each other. It allows you to mass check the auction house for certain items. If you're after 17 of one thing, 17 herbs or something, then you can check through, it'll order them by price, tell you exactly where they are, how much they are, and how much those 17 are going to cost you. You can do scans, so as you can see, if I go over my flask, it tells me on my tooltip there what the auction value is of such an item. It goes across and tells you exactly how much everything's worth. That only goes on your last scan or the last item you've seen in the auction house at the time. So if you did a scan 3 days ago, that information will be slightly out of date. You just need to keep on top of that. But if you do go to the auction house regularly, then they will be a massive help to your general day-to-day living. Obviously, this isn't an extensive guide of exactly everything, every add-on out there. These are just the ones that I use. There are plenty of others that will improve general stuff. If you've got a gathering profession, Gatherer might help. Most of them are pretty easy to set up. Just gives you a general interface option, and you can just set them up however you feel like. But again, these are just the ones that I use, and they are really helpful. But again, there are others. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next guide.